Sign language is a form of communication that uses hands, the face, and body gestures. Magongwa, who was also the first deaf teacher and principal in the country, has in his capacity as a researcher and academic at the Wits Center for Deaf Studies, played a crucial role in developing and assisting sign language teachers from across the country. He says the deaf community continue to face serious challenges when trying to access government services due to communication barriers.
After South African Sign Language became an official language, for the past 2 years, I think things have been happening because this was achieved after many years of lobbying government and fighting for the officialization of this language. And after that, the deaf community in South Africa were so excited of the prospect that one of the challenges have been, which was the barrier to a lot of things, have been dealt with. For example, in the past, we never used to have interpretation services on television screens, but at the moment we do have some of those. And in courts as well, we never used to have access to interpreting services. As deaf people, we used to go and look for interpreters ourselves to access these government services, which was not okay. Yes, the challenges are still huge. Obviously, challenges with communication. When you arrive at a department, for example, when you want to apply for a grant, social development, you get there, staff are not able to sign with you. You cannot communicate with people there.
Magongwa wasn't born deaf. At the age of 9, he became sick and lost his hearing abilities. However, this has not prevented him from reaching his goals in life.
And I also do a community service where I work closely with the deaf community out there. Deaf people with challenges with regard to family issues, work, they do come and visit us, and then we advise on what to do. We've got deaf clubs out there that would come and seek advice from us. For example, deaf people in the communities, when they want to establish clubs or formations and they don't know how to go about writing constitutions for their programs, we go out there and help them and make sure that they comply with whatever they need to comply with. And the third thing that I do as an academic is research. For example, in 2015, South African Sign Language became a school subject for the first time. And then my research that I started at the time was to look at whether the teachers are happy with the developments and their experience in terms of the new curriculum. And that is what I did for my PhD.
He has bemoaned the interpreting services in the country, which he says remain a thorny issue within the deaf community.
Interpreting is a profession, and sometimes, yes, as deaf people, we find ourselves in those situations. For example, you find people who are with just limited signing skills, basic signs, and then they call themselves interpreters. So that's where we find we encounter problems. People who are not trained, because as a profession, you need to be trained first before you can call yourself a professional. But then we have people out there who would just, with limited signing skills, call themselves professionals. And you find that we don't follow those people when they sign, and they are not able to understand us when they sign as well. So you can see that those people are missing or dropping information. That's when what is angering deaf people out there.
The Wits Center for Deaf Studies also features literature by writers who are deaf that is published in-house, as well as an art gallery that displays the works of artists who are hearing impaired.
To be honest, as a young deaf person, the challenge will always be communication, because people around you will have conversations and then you don't know what they're talking about. And then I went to a school for the deaf. That's when I realized that there are deaf people out there who are able to sign like me, and then I started learning sign language. There's an artist that I always followed. His name is Dali, and then as a deaf person, I think he was able to show things in the way that I would understand. And then there's always hands in my art, because of the fact that I use signs to communicate, hands to communicate, and then I incorporated that into my into my art, and made sure that I always include hands, because I use my hands to communicate or to give out my message.
The center is trying to collaborate with other universities from across the country by ensuring that mainstream teachers in those areas are able to access their training services. Refilwe, Mekoa, SABC News, Johannesburg.